Hey guys, it is Mike, and it is Saturday, so it is the Saturday Slashback Challenge. This week's topic was free choice, but it had to be a first watch. Um, for those of you who don't know what the Slashback Challenge is, the Horror Man gives us a topic every week. It has to deal with any kind of slasher movie, so um, it could be anything from campus killers to camp killers. This week's was free choice. But like I said, it had to be a first watch. So I decided to watch The Collector. I've been on the fence with this movie for a long time. I don't own it. I watched it through a free movie streaming service. Um, yeah, it was described as kind of a Saw-like movie. It was actually shopped at one point as kind of a lead up to the Saw movies or prequel to the Saw movies, but that was shot down. And I am not a fan of the Saw movies. I do not enjoy torture porn movies. I like my slashers to kill them quick and gory. But I really don't like seeing people beat up and all that stuff. So, um, but more power to those of you who love those movies. That's great. Um, this movie was it was better than I thought. I still don't know that I'm going to own it, but it was released in 2009. It's 90 minutes long. It was directed by Marcus Dunstan, and it stars Josh Stewart. He's the main guy through the whole movie as Arkin. Then we have Andrea Roth and Michael Riley Burke, who are a couple with two daughters. And then one of them's older, and one of them, funny enough, the older girl, I think her name is in real life is Xena, played in The Nanny. She was a little girl in The Nanny, and here she is in this movie, kind of showing her boobs and stuff. Um, and then Juan Fernandez played the um, collector. So we start out in a house. A couple have come home for the evening to find a weird red chest in their um, bedroom. They didn't put it there. They have no idea how it got there. It starts to move. So the husband, instead of leaving and getting the police, he decides to go ahead and open the chest, and something jumps out at them. You don't see what it is. And as it jumps out at them, you see somebody put their hand over the husband's mouth. Fade to black. Then we go to another house. It is being worked on. There are different things going on at the house. It's this big, beautiful house. And the couple that live there and their children are in the house while all the work is going on. The main character, Arkin, is one of the people working in the house. We find out later that he is kind of shady. He's into stuff that he probably shouldn't be in, and therefore he robs houses to um, pay off his debts or whatever it is that he has. The only issue that I had watching this movie is that it's on a streaming service. I watched it on my computer, so there were parts of it that were so low that I really couldn't hear, and I couldn't turn the volume up anymore. I need to get a little speaker for my computer. So we find out that he has a soft spot for children, not in a perverted way, but in a fatherly way. He has a daughter who he is estranged from the girlfriend or wife or whatever she was. I think it was just girlfriend. But he has a way of being kind to younger people. So we see him later. He goes to a strip club, and he has to meet with these people in a car, and they threaten him and tell him he has to have whatever. So he said, "I'll have your money by midnight." Then he goes back to that house. The house is all dark. He breaks in, and he goes straight to the safe because he's been working there, so he knows where everything is. He knows about the alarm system, but the alarm system isn't on. I don't think he noticed that, but they did show the alarm system dark. He knows where the safe is. He runs up, starts to open the safe with this little thing he has, I guess, to track the clicks. He does, he's working, and all of a sudden he starts hearing somebody coming into the house. He also hears some weird noises coming from the basement. But he checked the bedrooms, and there was nobody there. He checked the little girl's bedroom, and she wasn't there. So he thought they were just gone for the night. So he goes back to trying to open the safe, and then he hears somebody walking and coming up the stairs. So he quickly stops everything he's doing, and he hides. And as this is going on, he runs into the, he's trying to escape, but he realizes that the house is booby-trapped. And then the father, the Michael Riley Burke character, shows up, and he's all kind of beat up and bloody, and he's trying to get Arkin to help him, help save his family, and Arkin is trying to get him to shut up so this guy can't find them. So he's hiding in a closet, and then the father ends up setting off one of the booby traps, and he gets injured, and then Arkin comes out of the closet to see him being dragged away. So he knows, yikes, we're in trouble here. So that's when he goes on full, let's get the hell out of here. He's trying to find that little girl. He eventually realizes that most of the house is booby-trapped. He even gets cut by one of the wires. He's very observant, so you can tell he's been robbing houses for a while because he picks up on all the little booby traps. He looks around, sees what is hanging from the roof or whatever. So he goes. He eventually ends up down in the basement where he finds the couple. The older daughter is out on a date, and they keep saying, find the little girl, find the little girl. And the guy is really loud, and Arkin keeps trying to get him to hush, but he finally goes into the other room where the mother is, and she's handcuffed and all this stuff in a bathtub, and she's got a gag in her mouth and everything, and he takes the gag out of her mouth and tells her she's got to be quiet. And he sees like some of the things that she's hooked up to, so he has to get back upstairs to get his picks so he can open the handcuffs and stuff. So he goes back up. At this point, still looking for that little girl, he finds that red chest again. He opens it because he thinks maybe the little girl's in there because once again there's some rattling coming from it. It's not the little girl, it's the guy from the beginning. And he's all noisy and crazy, and Arkin ends up just pushing him back into the crate and closing it. Then he sees the daughter and her boyfriend coming home, and he's like, oh man. So he tries to stop them and as best as he can without being seen by the collector. Doesn't work out so well. He goes back down to the basement. The father is hanging upside down, but the mother's still alive, so he gets her undone from everything, and as they walk out, she sees her husband and completely flips out, which I guess I understand, but Arkin's trying to calm her down, and so that they can get out of there alive, but she doesn't listen. So he runs back, gets back upstairs, still looking for the little girl, finds a way finally out. While stuff is going on down in the basement, there's lots of screaming taking place. He's able to break a window out, get out of the house, starts running away. Then there's a little girl in the window, of course. So he goes back in, lots of craziness, very intense. They finally get out. They flag down the cops. He gets hit by a car. I mean, if the man hasn't been through enough... he gets captured at one point and is hanging by his hands and all these little hooks in him. And, he's a tough dude. But yeah, the movie ends. I wasn't a big fan of the ending. Like I said, still on the fence. I am going to watch The Collection, which is the second movie in the series. I guess Arkin is still in it. I just read a little bit of the review, or some of the reviews on it, so still not sure that I'm going to add either the collector or the collections to my collection, but we'll see. All right, guys, thanks for everything. Have a good weekend. Bye.